up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here of Marty Music. Thought I'd bring you a classic Metallica song right now. We're going to do Enter Sandman, of course. But I'd like to hear from you guys because I want to do some more Metallica. So let me know what your favorite Metallica song is. Leave it in the comments below so I get a feel for what I should teach next. And thanks again for the continued support of this channel right here, Marty Music. Really appreciate that. It supports me, and I want to thank you guys. All right, so the first part of the riff starts clean on acoustic, actually, but then when it kicks into the heavy rock, I'm using actually a digital distortion sound from my Line 6 M9 Stomp Box. It's just kind of a mock-up distortion sound that's a little less bluesy than the sounds that I normally use. That's why I'm doing it. But anyway, let's start with the first lick. We're in standard tuning here, and we start with the open E string. Ring finger is going to be on the 7th of the A string, and you let that E ring out. Then index finger is going to go to the 5th fret of the D string. And you can even let those ring out. So then, once we get that down, middle finger is going to go to the 6th and then index to the 5. So when you put that together, you get this. You need one more note before it starts over, and that's the E note again. Ring finger on the 7th fret of the A string. And it's in the spot that it needs to start over with as well. So from the beginning, and so that's one part. That's part one. Now I kick on the distortion, and I don't want it to be too loud so you can hear my voice here. So with the distortion kicked on, and obviously there's two guitarists in the band, we're going to go. So we just start with an E power chord, which is the index finger on the 2nd fret of the A with the open E. And then we're chugging. And so to get that sound, I'm using my right palm to mute the string a bit. So without the palm muting, it sounds like this. With a little bit of the string vibration under my right palm, it sounds like this. Right? So what happens is the electric guitar kicks in, and it's really mostly just the open E string, which is ironic because it's heavy metal and it's one string. It's really a big part of having that distortion. So we go. So if I was counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that and of 4, I'm sliding up to the 7th fret on the A string, and I'm just sliding from the 5th fret, and I'm using my ring finger because later we're going to be doing the. So we want to use the right fingers even for this part. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. See that? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's the first move. So then it goes like this. An F power chord, real quick, just for one chug, one gent, as I'm seeing in the memes. So that's first fret, third fret. And later on, there's going to be times where I think it's going to help to play the F power chord with the index and ring, and then the E power chord with the middle finger. That way you don't change anything like this. But that's for a little bit later. What we're going to do is... So the rhythm's still 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's now and 1 and 2. Then slide up to this 7. And 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And, so that's the and of 4 from the riff before. And 1 and 2 and, which would be middle finger on the 6th fret. 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So it does that, then it finally finishes, it does the exact same thing, but it goes, instead of 6 back to the open chugs, it goes 6, 5 to the open chug. So that would look like this. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and... So harder to count and play than just to see it, but it's the exact same riff as before, but now we're hitting one more time on the 5th, and it sounds like this. So now, the most signature riff in the song is 2 chugs on the E power chord. Da, da. Then you slide with that ring finger again from 5 to 7 on the A string. And then 6 on the E, 5 on the E. And when you get to that 5 of the E, try and give it a wah, 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 wah. Kind of a sinister vibrato. Like that. So when it repeats, it does kind of a anticipation open E string. Like... So that next section, there are power chords. So it's a G power chord, 3rd fret, 5th fret, then open E string. So I keep my ring finger down. So G power chord, open E string. Then 2nd fret, 4th fret power chord, then open E string again. So then back to that power chord, which is 2nd, 4th, and we're going to play it, and then with one pick, we pick the chord, slide it up a half step and back. And then the whole riff starts over. So here's that part. All right, let's do all the parts from the top. Part 1 is... which is really slow. Distortion kicks in with the E power chord. Slide. Slide. New one. Add that. So those two without distortion, just so you can hear it. Then we add that. And then finally, so then, kick the distortion back on. Now we have the verse, which is going to be really just chugging on the E, and it goes like this. Always kind of starts with an E power chord, and then just the E string chugging. So like, right? So, but we got to go like this. We're gonna play the F power chord. So I'm mostly just chugging the E string, but I'm keeping my middle finger there on the E string because it gives you the E power chord, and if you were to accidentally, play both, it's got that nice E power chord as opposed to, right? So the verse now goes like this. So, to include every, the same riff we already learned with the G power chord. To include every. So now what it does, so we're chugging that verse. Everyone, took you in to the Sandman. So after you've played the riff and you're on this F sharp power chord, you go right to that note that your finger's already on, but you play it singularly, and you play the main riff, but it's in F sharp now. So it starts with 2nd fret E, and then 4th fret D. So you have to skip the A string, which can be a challenge for a beginner especially. Then you play the 2nd fret G, so then 3rd fret A, 2nd fret A. Put that together, you get this. Then one final note before it starts over is the root, which is 4th fret D. All right, so from the beginning of the verse, then we have what's the chorus, and I'm since there's two guitars, there's little things going on. I'm going to show it to you a certain way that I think is easiest. It sounds accurate, but I've seen some tabs. Just it's the same notes, but I've seen a little variation. So I like to go like this: F sharp power chord, so 2nd fret, 4th fret, and then 3rd fret and 5th fret, but it's showing, I saw a tab where it just showed that note by itself, but I think it's easiest to just think of this chord. So F sharp power chord, and then 3rd fret, 5th fret, and slide down to the 2nd. So it's... So you do that, F sharp, so 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, open E power chord, and then again 2, 3, 2, power chord, then the little tag riff we already know, into the main riff. And it gets back to the whole form again. There's not much new that you have to learn, actually. That's pretty much all the parts except for the guitar solo. But let's go to the chorus again. So we've got... chorus. Now, don't worry. There's a little song candy that I haven't forgotten about, and it's those fills. which sound like this. And the other one. And they're heavily palm muted, and they're these little like E minor riffs. So when you have the chorus, you'd have to go. So you hit the E power chord, and then you go like this: 5-2 on the D string with heavy palm muting. So 5-2, and then second fret on the G, so 2 there, and then 2 back to the D. So it's like, so check it out. Here it is again, E power chord. Oops. Then finally, ring finger on the 4th of the G, pinky on the 5th of the D. So the lick looks like this. So from the beginning of the chorus. Then the power chords again, one time. Now a new lick. A little bit easier actually. 5-2, 5-2, 2-2. Then right into, so both of them together. Soloing is over the E riff. Then the solo goes up to this, where he rips through about 5 wah pedals. He burns through 5 wah pedals in the solo. And then, so it goes up to that. Then it goes, there's no new parts. So if you've learned all the parts I've taught you so far, you can listen to the song and put it together. But basically, the Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep kind of goes back into the very first riff. Then hush, little baby, don't say a word. Yeah. Excuse me. That's just this part. just a beast under your bed, in your closet, in your head. And another guitar's chugging on that F sharp. In your closet, in your head. So it builds that up, and then just goes into the chorus. And if you're familiar with the song like I am, you know, it does a little, kind of like a little, cuts the chorus off and then goes back again, you know, just tease it a little bit. Those fills are still there, and it just kind of keeps going with the parts that I've taught you, the main riff and those fills and the chorus, and then finally the clean riff again. So since we're here, let's just play some of the parts again from the top. Here we go. Here's the clean part. There is a wah pedal with an E minor kind of chord with the wah. But anyway, let's keep going. So kick the distortion on, starts with the E power chord, and then we do that slide. 2 and 3 and 4. Then it builds. All right, so there was the lesson. Thanks so much for spending some time with me. Remember, leave in the comments below your favorite Metallica song so I know what to teach. I want to give it to you guys. And thanks for supporting this channel right here. That's supporting me, and it's my channel, so thank you so much for that. I'll see you guys again real soon. Take care.